This is Justin.
And this is Haley. You're listening to The Price of Avocado Toast.
We're a married millennial couple wanting to normalize the conversations around money. We want to hear about your highs and your lows,
The do's and the don'ts on your path towards financial freedom. Hi Toasties, welcome to The Price of Avocado Toast, episode 16.
Whether you're a first-time listener or you've been following us from the start of this thing, we are so glad to have this conversation with you today. Well, you guys, I know we promised you Ryan, but Ryan asked if he could go on vacation, and we decided that we would let him go on vacation. So the episode with Ryan, our financial coach, is going to be coming out a little bit later, probably in November, because he's going to be gone for like a week and a half. So Ryan, if you're listening to this while you're on vacation, enjoy your time, dude. I know the listeners are excited to hear from you and to hear what you're all about, and we can't wait to sit down and chat with you, but we're glad you get a vacation away.
We got some really good questions to ask him, so I'm super excited for that. But if you do have anything that you want to ask him or want us to ask him, I guess, let us know. Send us a DM on Instagram or an email, and we can make sure we integrate that into the episode when we have it.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be fun. So Haley and I have had this idea of what we want to do for another episode, and we were like, you know what? Right now is a really good time to do that. And so today's episode is going to be all of the, or I shouldn't say all of, but our top 3 strangest things or weirdest things that millennials are quote unquote killing. Now, we've all seen these articles coming out, you know, that millennials killed this and millennials killed that. And we know that it's bogus or goofy and that there's good reasoning behind it, but some of them are really funny. So we figured, all right, you pick 3, I'll pick 3. We're going to do a blind review of them. The other one does not know what the other one has chosen, and we're going to have just a brief discussion on these weird things that millennials, you guys, you crazy listeners, are killing out there.
Are they killing it like they're dead, rest in peace, or are they killing it?
Oh, they're killing it like it's dead, rest in peace.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I guess it will depend.
Yeah, we got to check the millennial lingo right there. It's like when you use the term sick. I don't know. Do millennials use the term sick, or am I just weird?
No, they do.
They
but
do,
that's
right? Like,
kind of like a California thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
sick. Yeah, that is California.
I don't say that.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're a listener on the East Coast or in the Midwest, let me know if you say sick, just so I feel better.
Or if that just means you have, like, COVID.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Sick is, like, banned
Like, real
right now.
sick.
It's one of the banned words from the
Oh.
FTC. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go back and forth. Our top 3 each of the strangest things millennials are killing. All right, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, I'm going to go first. And I found one that just, like, cracked me up. And I think that it's really funny, and I think that there's good reasoning behind it. But I went to Mashable.com because they posted a list of, like, 70 different things, and I was scrolling through finding the ones that I thought were the weirdest. So, this one is from Metro, which it looks like a UK journalism site. And the tagline is, "Well done, millennials. You've officially ruined handshakes for everyone." And so this was written in July of 2016. And what it says is that millennials don't have a firm grip. So handshakes have become just very wimpy. And there was actually research done by the Journal of Hand Therapy, which is wild enough. This doesn't even have to be an article about millennials and their handshakes. But if you were like, yeah, we're citing the Journal of Hand Therapy, I'd be like, okay, this is going to get weird. And they said, they asked 236 American participants aged 20 to 34 to squeeze a hand dynamometer, which is a joystick-style device. And they found out that women aged 20 to 24 had significantly weaker hand grips than their 1985 counterparts, and the same was true for men under the age of 30. And then it said that men these days have a grip 19 to 26 pounds weaker than those in 1985, and women have lost roughly 10 pounds of force. And I think it's so strange because, you know, they say, like, we don't want a limp handshake, and handshakes need to be firm and all this stuff, right? But it's so goofy because there's this antiquated idea of like, oh, a man shakes hands firm. And I'm sorry, but if you're some animal monster weirdo who needs to feel power by shaking my hand firmly and like trying to hurt my grip, shame on you. If you're hearing this and you're like, oh, I shake everybody's hand with the force of me trying to crush walnuts, we've got problems. Don't shake my hand so hard.
Okay, but do you know how to shake a hand?
Yeah.
How do you shake a hand?
You go deep into the crevice. You crevice
Hand,
to crevice.
Web to web.
Web to web,
Firm
brother.
grip.
Yeah, dude. Hi, Justin Brownwoods. I'd like to work for your firm.
Nice to meet you. Nice
Pleasure.
to meet you. I really think I have a very nice handshake.
You do.
But then again, I've also been like really oddly complimented on my handshake. Like, whoa, you have
Wow.
a great handshake. And it's a strange thing for people to think. But maybe it's because millennials have such weak grips.
And you used to work at a gym as a manager of an older population. You had employees that you led that were twice your age. So maybe to them, like, your firm handshake was a sign of, oh, wow, she's got status and power, right? Versus like our millennial friends. I don't remember the last time I shook one of my friends' hands. I'm a hugger, dude. Shut up and give me a hug, right? And none of the stupid side hugs. Like, don't be weird. Give me a hug. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. We were dapping each other up the other day, though. You guys, I taught Haley how to dap somebody up. So you come in, there it is, and then you got to snap at the end.
But
We
this
used
is
to do
just
that.
weird. That's not how it goes.
Well, anyways, so I guess we did kill the handshake because we got cool handshakes. I don't
This
know.
whole thing makes me really uncomfortable because I'm just thinking of like how shaking someone's hand is just not okay right now in the world we're in.
Yeah.
You just don't. I mean, I accidentally in the store the other day walked by someone and my hand bumped her hand and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry I touched you.
You didn't cough afterwards, did you?
I did not.
That would scare her.
That would have probably really scared her. but I felt so bad that I touched her.
Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting to me because, I think nobody likes a weak handshake. Nobody likes the limp hand in their, shake. But why do we have to write an article about millennials killing the handshake? I don't know. We're grasping at straws at that point. So, okay, millennials listening, quit killing the handshake.
I don't feel like they've killed the handshake. That's a funny one.
Yeah. All right, what's your number one?
Okay, not necessarily my number one, but the first one that I'm going with today is cable TV.
Okay.
So, millennials have killed cable TV. We all know that people have cut the cable so they can use streaming sites of many different sorts. So people use YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO, Sling. You can pretty much get an app for anything. You can get an app for ABC, NFL, anything. And we have canceled our cable and gone back to it like 3 times since we've been together because we realize it's too expensive. But then we have all these streaming sites that we're paying for, right? We personally have Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix. Plus, we had cable on top of that. And then at one point, we had Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix plus Sling TV. So it's always been some variety of whatever. Plus, you have like Red Zone.
Yeah, the sports packages and stuff.
But then we always go back because I just can't live without my trash TV that they don't put on the streaming sites. So for me, my guilty pleasure is really like straight up trash TV, like Teen Mom, The Bachelor. I know that's on Hulu, but I mean, I want to watch it live before it goes all over the internet.
Yeah, 90 Day Fiance. That's the one you're kicked on now.
And don't even say, it's just me.
Yeah. Okay. My father-in-law, Haley's dad, came and visited us this past weekend. And bless his soul, he not only let Haley play 90 Day Fiance whenever she wanted to have the TV on, but he got hooked on it too. He was locked in.
And one night he stayed up super late watching it.
To watch the drama. He couldn't go to bed. He was so locked in.
I called him the other day to tell him what really happened.
Good. I know he wanted to know.
He really did. He felt better about it.
He was invested.
He wasn't left hanging.
Yeah. Okay, so honey, I have to ask. Millennials have killed cable TV, and I think that's definitely more valid than the Handshakes one. Like, I think we can definitely agree to that, right?
Totally.
And I think that TV companies are kind of hip to that now, and they're understanding that. But if you could only pick one streaming service, Netflix or Hulu, which one are you picking and why? We're not going to count Amazon Prime because, like, sorry, Amazon Prime, but you're like a distant third, like not even close. So Hulu or Netflix?
We only watch Amazon Prime when we have to rent something specifically that's not on the other site.
For sure.
Okay. It really depends on what I'm hooked on at that time, but I would have to say Hulu because it's synced up to what's actually currently playing.
Yeah.
Something will air on live cable TV Monday, and it will be available Tuesday morning at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And so that's nice. And then, Netflix takes a year sometimes. They're like really, really far behind sometimes. It really depends on what series, which kind of pisses me off with Netflix. I wish that it was more consistent like Hulu. So Hulu's definitely more reliable. What about you?
I mean, what do you think? Am I Netflix or am I Hulu?
You are Netflix.
I'm Netflix all the way. Ride or die, Netflix.
Why?
I crush seasons on Netflix.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like, it's great. The Office, love it. Sons of Anarchy, love. And I think I saw Sons on Hulu.
I think it was back and forth. One of them.
I think it was back and forth. I started on Hulu and then I went to Netflix on it. Yeah. But I think I like it because they got great stand-up comedy on there, and I really like stand-up comedy. It just kind of brings a smile to my face. So
okay, the Netflix originals are way better than the Hulu originals.
Agreed, 1,000%.
The documentaries and everything.
Love them.
And okay, so going off of how millennials have killed cable TV, I feel like as a whole, millennials are really into documentaries. I don't know. I am. Love me some crime shows. So you can just sit on Netflix and watch 20 different types, and then it will sync to what you like and be like, oh, here's a show we recommend.
Yeah.
So.
And they're a trip. Like, oh, you watched the story of this young girl killing her boyfriend abroad. You might like this other one that's another young girl killing her boyfriend abroad. And it's like, okay, like we're not going overseas. Scary times. Okay. Cable TV and handshakes officially killed. Are you ready for my number 2?
Well, I feel like I agree with cable TV. I don't know about handshakes. I'm still unsure about that one.
Okay, handshakes we're still out on. Okay, so my number 2. This is number 1. The handshakes one wasn't my top, and number 2 is not my top. I'm gonna save the best for last. But number 2, I felt triggered by. This one pissed me off. Okay.
Okay.
This is from Time Magazine, and the title is "Millennials are giving their babies increasingly strange names," and I felt triggered. Okay, so everybody knows that our baby is named Calliope.
That is too funny.
And we've had Calliope, Calliope, all the different sayings. It's, and that's okay. I don't mind saying, oh yeah, it's Calliope. That's totally cool. But like, this article is like, this is the opening line. Sorry, Michaels and Jessicas, your reign at the top of the baby names list is over. And then it says that there's people naming their children Legendary, Sad Man, and Lux. And if you are an Instagrammer, you know that Lux is an Instagram filter. People are naming their children after an Instagram filter. I don't know that. I mean, it's just the article saying that.
Well, teen mom, Kale, her son's name's Lux.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's crazy. So, between 2004 and 2006, 66% of boys, and 76% of girls had a name that wasn't one of the most 50 common names. And in 2011 to 2015, 72% of boys and 79% of girls had names that were not in the top 50. And they're saying that the tendency is people want their kids to stand out even more. And I get it. Your name gives you a ton of power and a ton of strength, and like that's your personal thing. But it's just like, I don't know. Millennials are getting blamed for name changes. Like, my name before getting married and changing it, my name was Justin Brown. I mean, my sister danced with a guy at our high school named Justin Brown.
No way.
Yes.
The same exact name.
Yes, he was there 2 years before me. He graduated before I got there. But the exact same name. He's on the wall at the high school. And so my football players will see it and be like, you made the wall? And I'm like, no, that clearly does not look like me at all. That guy looks like a totally different human. It's just the same name. And so, I don't know. I didn't want our daughter to be named, I don't know, Jane Smith, right? And if you're Jane Smith and you're listening to this, I love you. Your name's great. But don't name your baby Jane Smith anymore. Get strange names, millennials. Like our beautiful daughter, Calliope.
Oh my god. Everyone, when I told them we were going to name her Calliope, they were like, what?
So
Like, what the hell are you thinking?
when people ask you, like, oh, where's her name come from? What do you tell them?
Well, what do you mean? Like, what does it mean, or where did we come up with it?
Like, where did you come up with it?
Okay, so I had a student in one of my student teaching classes. Her name was Calliope. I thought it was a really weird name, and it just kind of stuck with me. And the more I saw it written down and the more I said it, I thought, yes, that's strange. It's very unique, but it's really pretty. And so it just kind of stuck.
I tell everybody the same story, and it's almost verbatim. And I say, oh, yeah, my wife is a teacher, and she had a student in her class whose name was Calliope, and it was a really sweet student, and we figured we'd never meet another Calliope and teach one in our classroom. So I'm like, I mean, it's almost comes out like I have it memorized. It's my personal monologue for this is why my daughter's named Calliope. She's such a rock star.
People told me when I was pregnant and I was working at the pool, there was a little girl named Calliope. And the people that were teaching her swim lessons were like, that's a really weird name. How does she even say this name? The girl was like 3, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I asked her mom, I said, hey, I'm thinking of naming my child Calliope. Does she say her name? Can she even pronounce it? And she said, yeah. She'll be like, that's not how you say my name. This is how you say it. And she'll totally correct people. And I'm like, oh, that's badass. That's what I want my daughter to do.
What a little rock star.
Yeah. Be like, that's not my name.
Was she a good swimmer too?
You know what? I don't remember, but probably.
That's cool. I love it. So, all right, millennials, keep naming your kids strange things because it gives them power. You're not killing it. You're doing it. Woo.
Blue Apple. Let's go.
Is somebody named that?
Well, I think Blue isn't that Beyonce's kid's name, and then Apple is someone else's name. Gwen's.
I don't know. Blue Apple.
Regardless.
All right, if you're listening to this and you know who it is, DM us on Instagram. Help us out.
I think they're 2 separate names.
Okay.
Okay, my second one, this made me really not happy. And I feel like you might have chosen this one, but I'm going to use it for my second one.
Okay.
Okay. Mine is wine.
Oh, okay, I didn't pick that one.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, because I was totally on the same side as you.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's 70. It's a list of 70. Like, it's great.
Wine. I really firmly disagree with this. Hard no.
Okay, so that's kind of weird because there was the number one was beer, and that study said that millennials aren't drinking beer, but they're drinking wine instead. So what did it say? Like,
it just said that millennials are changing the way we drink. Millennials they like sparkling wine, like champagne, not necessarily like red wine.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a little sparkling rosé.
Okay, sparkling rosé is good. I don't care.
It's really good.
If anybody hears this and is like, take his man card. I don't care. You can have it. Just trade me a bottle of sparkling rosé.
But basically, it's just saying that Gen Xers are the marketer's dream. So not us, the Gen Xers. Maybe because they're still young and they like to gulp.
Yeah.
I don't know. I drank a lot of wine when I was 21. Now maybe not so much. Maybe that's their argument. But Merlot is still trying to recover. But Merlot is not good.
You don't like Merlot?
I do. It's definitely my least favorite of them all.
Wow. Shots fired at Merlot.
Merlot. No.
All right.
No, Merlot.
No, Merlot. Yeah, that is so strange because it seems like so many people our age are digging wine.
But it's like a thing. Like to go wine tasting, to dress up and wear your hats and do your hair. Yeah. I feel like all my millennial friends go do that.
I think what it is that people don't want to drop $50 on a bottle of wine, and they're comfortable in that like $25 to $35 price range, and you can get really good wine for that. I mean, of course, you can go to Costco and get like a $7 bottle of wine that I'm like, yo, this is not bad wine. Like, it's not the best wine I've ever had, but it's not bad. But like $25 to $35 is a decent little amount for a bottle. You know, you grab a case, you're up to like $150.
But maybe this made me mad because we're in wine country. So literally everyone I know drinks wine.
Yeah, hold on a minute. I just did the math in my head, and I just said a case of wine was $150 at $25. That's terrible math.
Were you thinking?
I meant like a half case, 6. Yeah, that's gross
6
math. 6-pack of wine. Yeah, I'm sorry. Significantly more than that for a case, but nonetheless, $25 for a bottle of wine ain't that bad. I'm sorry I cut you off. Continue.
Well, basically, I just love my wine, and this was kind of offensive. I definitely disagree with this one. Hard no. Wine is still a thing. Millennials have not killed it. In fact, we are killing the wine game in a good way.
We are.
Hashtag
Agreed.
killing it.
We have some good wine out there.
Not
Thank
rest
you.
in peace.
Thank you again to your dad for coming and bringing us some wine. That
Okay.
was nice.
He came for my birthday, brought us a whole entire case, which is 12, not 6, of wine, and yeah, now our wine rack is nice and full.
But what was cool was he brought us a case of wine, and then he walks in a minute later with his case, and we just drink his case all weekend. And it was
But
like,
yeah,
sweet.
ours has gone untouched. It's
Yeah.
waiting.
Thanks, Dad.
Love my wine. We're definitely not killing the wine game in a bad way. In a good way, we are.
Okay, so we've killed cable TV. We've killed normal names for our children. You're saying we haven't killed handshakes and we haven't killed wine?
I'd give Handshakes a half kill.
Oh,
They're
wow.
they're in a coma.
You can't half kill something. It's either full dead or dead. Or I guess full dead or not dead.
Okay, because we're in the COVID world right now, I'm gonna say Handshakes are dead.
Handshakes are dead. All right. So we have killed cable TV, handshakes, normal baby names, but we have not killed wine. All right. So it's 3-1 things that we have killed. Uh-oh, millennials. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Are you
See.
ready for my final one? Okay.
mean-
this was bull crap. And this is going to make I saw this and was like, I'm going to fight this person. And I'm not really going to. It's probably a wonderful article with some great research. But this writer says that millennials have killed serendipity. And the reasoning behind it, I mean, serendipity, if people aren't sure, it's a noun that is kind of the occurrence or like development of events by chance or like a happy kind of beneficial way. So like things can be serendipitous or like, you're living in serendipity. Okay. They said that because of dating apps, there is no random fate chance encounters where we meet the person we love and live life with forever. Because everything is broken down into an algorithm of exactly who we should be with. And I'll tell you why I took offense to this. Because I found you on a dating app, and it was right. So why should I get upset? Why should I get upset? Death to serendipity. Use an algorithm. Find somebody that suits what you like so you don't have to sift through somebody's baggage and traumas before you find out, oh my gosh, they're not who I thought they were. I don't
Love
know.
that. It said 94%. I think it was spot on. I agree with
We
you.
were 94% compatible. And the 6% of you that I'm not compatible with, I can't stand. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
I love you. but I mean, like, what? And they even cited some of the apps that people use. Tinder, Bumble, J-Swipe, Coffee Meets Bagel. I've never even heard of Coffee Meets Bagel.
I think I've heard of it. I don't know that people use it. What is OkCupid on the list?
No, I would
feel
have
like-
I would have written in. I would have asked to speak to the
I
editor.
feel like OkCupid is for really weird people, but it worked for us.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I'm sorry about that one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It really hurt my feelings. So, have we killed serendipity? What do you think? Is that going on the killed list or the not killed list?
I would say yeah,
It's on the killed list.
it is.
All right.
And because
Thanks
I
to
agree
Tinder
with it,
and Bumble.
because you can cheat the system and find your perfect match without having to bump into people and get married and divorced 6 times before you find them.
But is that cheating the system? Like, you and I were so upfront about what we were looking for and what we wanted. And it was like, hey, I'm not here to play games. Like, if you're looking for this, then this is what I'm coming with. And I've got, baggage of my own, but I'm not looking to play games. I don't know if it's cheating the system. I mean, I agree. We've killed serendipity. There's no such thing as the rom-com walking on the street, bumping into each other, spill coffee all over, and go on a date and, fall in love. I don't know. But I don't know. I still think it was serendipity.
I mean, it was very. I never would have met you
Never would have
had
met
it
each
not
other.
been for the app.
There would not have been serendipity in our lives. So maybe serendipity was killed beforehand, and millennials just adapted.
Maybe millennials created the apps. Maybe we are the reason it's coming back.
Yeah, serendipity was dead. Millennials adapted and evolved to fit the situation and thought, hey, if serendipity's not going to help me find a partner, this cool math equation will. I don't know. You're the best algorithm I know, honey.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Which one do you think that goes on? What list?
No, I definitely think it's killed. Yeah, serendipity's killed.
It's dead.
All right, so we've got handshakes are dead. Cable TV is dead. Naming your baby normal names is dead. Serendipity's dead. The one that's still alive, wine. Wine gets to stick around.
Wine will never die. Long live the wine.
Red wine is forever.
Some wine. All right, ready for my last one?
All right.
Okay, this one, again, it's not our fault. We did not kill this. It was dead before we got here. The American dream.
The American dream?
The American dream.
Millennials have killed the American dream?
I think millennials have not killed the
Was
American dream.
that on the Mashable list?
Uh-huh.
Really? Oh, I didn't see that one. That's awesome.
But when when I think of the
Oh my
American
God, that's
dream, I think
heartbreaking.
of, everyone goes and you have a family, get married at 25, you find your partner, first you find a partner, then you get married, and then you have 3.5 kids, and buy a giant house and retire at age 45, and you live happily ever after. Yeah, we can't do that because we can't afford it. It's not our fault. Boomers did it to us. It's their fault. They killed it.
So 2 things. You said that the American dream is people get married, buy a house, and have 3.5 kids. And I think the standard saying is they get married and have 2.5 kids. So
Yeah,
that just
well,
shows
that's
you want a big family.
I-
Let the record be shown.
I want 3.5.
Yeah. And then, so what did they say? What was what was the reasoning behind killing it? Was it just like kids aren't kids, millennials aren't entrepreneurs, or like what did they say was the reason we've killed the American dream?
Basically, it kind of went back to the fact that millennials don't buy homes, which I don't necessarily agree with either. But that also was on the list. We take so long to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Millennials typically are waiting longer to have kids. They're waiting till they're in their 30s to even get married sometimes, or to have kids until they're 33, 35. And then buy your first home when you're in your late 30s. That's definitely not how it used to be. And now, I mean, if you're not on the FIRE journey, or if you're not in the debt-free journey and you're just living life like a normal American, you're definitely not retiring at 55.
No way.
No way. And so I don't feel like that's our fault.
Yeah.
Millennials didn't kill that. That's been killed long before us.
And I think I'm glad you actually chose this, because I think it really does, all jokes aside, kind of talk about this idea of the things that millennials kill. And the point is, millennials have gone through, some of the biggest events in our history. 9/11 and the war that is still going on from that. The recession. We're now living through coronavirus and the economic shutdown that's going to happen from here. And because of that, millennials do not have the funds to do those same things, as inflation has caused those things to rise. Like, you look at home prices back in the day to what they are now, it's ridiculous compared to salaries and how salaries have not changed. So it's indicative, I mean, again, all jokes aside, it's indicative of a bigger issue that millennials aren't killing home buying because they don't want a home. They're killing home buying because they're stuck in student loans that they have no way out of, and they're facing an uphill battle with, daycare costs and other cost of living expenses that are just exorbitant.
My brother, who's about 13 years older than me, went to a state school in California, like I did, 13 years before I did, and was able to cash flow the whole thing. That was, I'm sure it was an option for me had I known exactly what to do. But student loans and the price of tuition have just skyrocketed. It's gone up so much in the last 15, 20 years. So it's not the same as it was like 25 years ago or whatever. Things were so much easier. And they were making, I was just talking to my grandma the other day. She was talking about a house that she sold several years ago for close to like $400,000 in 1999. That was a lot of money then.
Wow.
But then houses now, that same house is like over $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And she also used to work in the education system. And she was talking to me about how when she was working, teachers made X amount of dollars. It's literally pennies more now.
Yeah.
I mean, but the cost of living has at least doubled.
Skyrocketed.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. I think it's indicative of the bigger issue that millennials aren't killing these things because they want to. They're killing them indirectly because they can't sustain that. And then also there's other things that millennials are killing for the sake of, good climate activism and all those other things that are important to think about. So Interesting. Okay, so final tally. Are millennials killing the American dream? Yes or no?
Well, I think the American dream is dead.
Is that due to millennials?
But I definitely don't think it's because of millennials.
All right. So
what do you think?
No, I don't think it's millennials' fault.
I think we're living through it.
Yeah.
Because of the people before us.
Agreed. I'm not taking the blame on that. Okay, so millennials have not killed wine. They have not killed the American dream. They have killed cable TV, normal baby names, serendipity, and my first one, which was handshakes. They have not killed handshakes. They have killed handshakes. Handshakes are dead.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Don't hug though either because COVID-19. So
keep a distance.
We want to send a challenge out to our listeners. If you guys are listening to this, go ahead and DM us on Instagram the strangest thing that you have heard millennials have killed, or something that you believe many millennials have killed. The weirdest one or the strangest one gets coffee on us this weekend. So DM us Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday night. Strangest thing millennials have killed. Weirdest one gets coffee on us.
The weirdest one?
The weirdest one.
Oof.
It can't be basic.
I get to choose, though.
Deal.
Cool. Man, I can't get over the baby names one.
Yeah.
That's spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we've chosen a Calliope, we cannot do a Jessica or a Brian.
No. we 1,000% cannot.
We just can't. We cannot have a Calliope and a Jessica. Those do not go together.
No. People would be like, wow, your parents really loved you guys.
What happened to that one? Why'd she get the weird name?
Yeah. That's too funny. All right. Well, if you've listened all the way through this episode with us, you guys, quit killing things, millennials. We don't want you to end up on a Netflix crime doc. That's going to be the end of this episode of The Price of Avocado Toast. As always, we're so glad to have this conversation with you guys, and we are so glad to be part of this community that is one by one killing off things that we have no longer a need for. As always, happy budgeting.
You've got this, Toasties. Thank you for listening to The Price of Avocado Toast. If you vibed with this episode, share it with a friend. We'd love to continue building our listening community.
If you're interested in speaking more with a financial coach, hit up our coach Ryan at MeFinanciallyFree on Instagram. Use the promo code HELP50 in the consultation notes section to receive 50% off.